What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. In today's episode of Ludus, we're looking at a fun lineup. There's really no breakdown or anything like that. I just kind of want to have fun with the lineup. I wanted to enjoy my time with the Astral Heroes while we still have 4 active. We have 16 days for Pirate Queen before her Astral Impulse falls off, and we're left with only 3 Astral Heroes until the next Astral event. Then we'll get back to 4. I don't think we'll ever see a time where we have a complete lineup of Astral Heroes, as the staggering out actually is really good. But we shall see. Maybe there'll come a day where we can do a full lineup of Astral Heroes. But if they're all melee, what's the point? So, to break down our lineup today, we're looking at Princess. Princess is going to be holding on to Ray of Light and Onslaught once she gets to level 13, and I do fully intend on grabbing every copy of Princess that I can find to get her to level 13, because once she can get Bulwark attached to her, or Armor Plating, or Shield of Faith, she is going to be better than what she is now. I am very impressed by Princess. I'm working up her charm or Irresistible Charms right now. I don't see a point in it as it is in the 2 seconds. It hasn't really done anything on my end of the board to justify it being the 2 seconds. However, at level 99, it is 5.9 seconds of charm, and that could potentially do a lot of damage to a lot of people. So, excuse me, I am working that down. Once I get it up higher, we'll showcase it a little bit more clearly. Right now, Ray of Light is holding out with its regeneration for over 10 seconds. Yet another perk I am working up to pair with Aqua Vitae. I believe that Ray of Light at level 99, if not level 100, will pair very beautifully with Aqua Vitae and keep a lot of cards alive, keeping them sustained as they go along. If we can out-sustain the opposing team, we win. With Muerta is going to be holding on to Landmine, Bulwark, and Deadly Swamp. Bulwark still has me a little perplexed on the verbiage of Bulwark. Ignores 74% of incoming damage while on their half of the board. Are they on their half of the board and that's what it ignores? Or is it when Muerta is on that half of the board? I don't fully know. But what I do know is Grant's 25% extra HP is fantastic, as her HP sits at 7.5 million. Having that other 25% helps her sustain out a little bit more, helps her take abuse a little bit more. And I really like this combo. I like the combo Deadly Swamp, Landmine, and Bulwark on her. Makes me feel a little bit more secure. Pirate Queen's going to be holding on to High Explosives, Eldritch Horror, and Sharknado. Iron Tony has my quintessential Pyromaniac, Aqua Vitae, Lightning Reactor combo. Once Shield of Faith gets to level 60, Shield of Faith will be replacing Lightning Reactor, and Lightning Reactor will go on somebody else. I need that 2-second stun on Shield of Faith for me to justify it, but Shield of Faith paired out with Pyromaniac is absolutely disgusting. And with Aqua Vitae allowing regeneration, gives a little bit more oomph to a punch. Pumpkin Jack is currently rocking Singularity and Lightning Reflexes. Oh, excuse me. Pumpkin Jack's damage is at 490,000 at level 11. So that justifies the Singularity being on there. I have not ran into issues with Singularity and Lightning Reflexes on Pumpkin Jack just yet. I'm sure there's been some, and I haven't fully noticed it with all the chaos that happens on screen, but I look at it as a very good combination. Upon getting to level 13, however, I really would like, I'm trying so hard to find Chief so I can get Unity. I'd really like Unity to be on Pumpkin Jack or Princess. Either one, it'll do great. I really think Onslaught and Unity being on Pumpkin Jack or Princess is a very valid option and something that everyone should look into if you can. Lightning Reflexes being on Pumpkin Jack just makes him hit a whole heck of a lot harder and faster, and allows for his combat boost that applies fear to really trigger more often than it really should, and that's fantastic. It helps out quite a bit. So with that lineup breakdown, we're gonna hop into our 3 fights, see what comes of it. All right, Johnny G is gonna be our first opponent. Really not a bad lineup. Could cause some issues here or there, but we shall see. So the whole intent of this lineup is just to have fun, to be able to get those prowesses up there very high, and just kind of see what sort of chaos we can bring to the table. That's always how I look at this particular buff week, is if they get the bonus prowess, let's just have fun with it, see how far we can take it, how hard can we get these cards to hit when on a normal basis we don't get this sort of window for shenanigans. And I love me some good shenanigans. So we're setting up pretty nice right now. We've got Muerta not in the greatest of positions, but we are moving our way forward to our ideal spots. We still want Muerta on the second row because she has landmine, or the third row depending on where the opponent lands. And I am really enjoying the synergy that comes with a lot of these perks. Cannot wait to get Shield of Faith up there. We're going to leave this spot open. We're not going to merge anymore. We're going to get Muerta right behind Iron Tony and call it good. We do want Pumpkin Jack on one side of Iron Tony, and we want Princess on the other side. We do not want to stack Pumpkin Jack or Pumpkin Jack and Pirate Queen in the same area, as Pirate Queen has Eldritch Horror and Pumpkin Jack has Singularity. Those do not pair up very well. Now let's get rid of that. There we go. We got our Muerta. Let's drop this Muerta here. There we go. We got Pumpkin Jack on the side we want him on, which is perfect. Let's move our way around here a little bit, get ourselves set up the way we want. Bringing those prowess buffs in. That's another good thing about having one card that's not part of the faction buff. We can always focus that card down if we truly need to. I feel like we have reached that portion in time where we singled it out, and we're putting the final nails into the coffin that is Johnny G. And I'm okay with what we have set up here. I don't see any reason to move forward. We can't super out a princess, so there's no point. We don't want a dead space. We just want to run roughshod and handle everything in front of us in a timely manner. Alrighty. So we're getting more and more Muertas, which is great. Let's go and throw our princess into her super mode. So now we have our perfect setup. We have Pumpkin Jack on one side of Tony. We have Princess on the other side of Tony. Ray of Light is now going to be affecting Tony. And then we have Muerta right behind Tony, which allows for a landmine closer to him. Now, we have our landmine set up right here, so ideally having Muerta right here is not a big deal. So we're going to let it go so we can start spreading out our prowess once we can reset. We're sitting pretty on hearts, so we don't need to be too aggressive. We want to keep up the amount of aggression we currently have. And we're just watching Princess gallop across the ground. That is awesome. I love this setup. This is so much fun. And my win ratio with this really is not bad. It's respectable if I am being so humbled into saying so. Ooh, almost missed out on the prowess buff for crawling across there. We don't want to lose out on those. We want to apply that there. Go our 3 spots. And then we'll go... I think what we're going to do is we're going to put Pirate Queen on the back row here. Or put it on the 3rd row. She'll move forward, but we're wanting that Eldritch Horror to kind of go across this area here. We have our tracks. We know what we want to do with it. We'll call it good. I think this is putting the final nail into the coffin. It truly is. They could not keep up with us. That's another real reason for running this, is you can get so many supers out during this week. It is fantastic. We did 146 million damage to their 60.6. Princess is our biggest damage dealer, which is fantastic. We had 5 supers to their 3. We spent 165 coin to their 147. We broke all of our rocks where they only did 8 out of 10. So let's go into fight number 2. See if we can come up with the same results. All right. I cannot pronounce your name, so I'm not even going to try. You are our next opponent on The Price is Right in Ludus. Let's see where we can land here. I have fought this bot or person multiple times today. Be honest, their lineup doesn't really scare me. To be honest, I think the update actually finally hit because I have yet to run into a full lineup of reds today. Last night going into... And, no, I'm not displeased at all. I'm having fun in Ludus again. Now, that said, it's also the beginning of a season. The beginning of the season is always fun. It always brings up fun matchups, allows for us to enjoy our time in the ladder climb and enjoy going back and forth with our builds. We're not so necessarily stuck on one build the entire time during the beginning of the season. So who's to say here by the time I hit to League 9, it's not going to change once I get to League 9. So one of the things I am taking into consideration as I'm playing along is I don't necessarily feel guilty about losing 100 trophies anymore because I'm keeping myself in the area where I can enjoy the game. And that's where I want to stick with. I want to be able to enjoy this game for as long as I can. So if you're having issues with staying in the game or wanting to stay in the game because you know what's coming, just enjoy what time you have in the meantime and enjoy the fun shenanigans that you can bring to the table with all these builds. All right, so we're rocking out with Muerta on either side of Pumpkin Jack. I think I'm going to stick with that for a minute. They're pretty high level on prowess. They're only getting bigger as we're merging across. I don't see a real reason not to continue down this trend. Now, one thing I am going to try and pay attention to is landmine, as Singularity on Pumpkin Jack is now on the same column as landmine. So I'm kind of paying attention here and see where landmine hits. Landmine did explode. They do not take any of the damage because someone stepped on it. Okay, so that is the downside to Singularity and landmine, is if someone steps on it because they're in a high crowded area, landmine will trigger and completely miss everything that's been taken out by Singularity. So, something to keep in mind. We're just going to hold. I'm okay with every single position here, aside from Princess, but Princess really is not showing her adorable little face this round. So, I don't know exactly where I would put her. If I'm being honest with myself, I would really like that tier 2 Muerta in the center there to kind of go away. Get merged out somewhere else and have Princess land there. Princess in between the Muertas would be ideal as she's spreading out that Ray of Light to either side. Because Ray of Light is for flanking, it is not for anything else. We're going to bring Iron Tony all the way the heck over to here. We're going to have them on either side. Get our Pumpkin Jack down there. Let's put this here, super out our Pirate Queen. We are looking beautiful. Again, no real frustrations going forward. Win, lose, draw, it doesn't matter to me anymore. I'm just kind of enjoying this lineup. I'm enjoying the fun that comes with getting super high prowess cards, but we're doing just fine. Whew. I am on an adrenaline rush today for some stupid reason. Let's drop PQ. There's another Princess. We really don't want Princess all the way on the back line, but if that's what we gotta do, that's what we gotta do. Screw it. What's it gonna do? Where's it gonna hurt? It's not gonna hurt anywhere, that's where. All right, there is our Muerta. Let's get her off the front row, or off the second row. See what happens here. Open up that spot. She's still on the second row. I misused my words there. She's still in a good spot. Looks like we did lose Princess, but she came back fighting strong with that health. Now she's gone. Okay, now you're done. Now you're finished, sir. Thank you for playing the game. Please come back at your earliest convenience. Boop, boop, boop. All right, we have Iron Tony on either side now, so we can start scrapping our Tonys. We have no reason for PQ. We have no reason for Tony. There is our Pumpkin Jack. Let's get him set up. Now, everything that's worth value is supered. Everything that comes afterwards is just a bonus. Boop. I always say boop when they go bye-bye because that's all I hear is no! And they go. And he's done. Beautiful. This is so much fun. I'm enjoying every second of this. Let's see here. We have 120.9 million damage to his 63.1. We did very, very well. Iron Tony showing up with a lot of stats on his side. Looks like Muerta outperformed everybody on her damage, not only in basic attack, but also in ability damage. Fan-freaking-tastic. Let's go on to fight number 3 and enjoy yet another brawl. I don't know what word to use. Alrighty, Senpai, notice me. You are our third opponent, and a very good opponent for everything I'm looking at here. I'm not worried about you in the slightest. Let's just enjoy. That's the whole point of games. The whole point of games is to enjoy ourselves. Okay, so we have PQ in a good position. We have Tony, who needs to move up to another row. Actually, now I'm okay with that. With Princess being there on the front row, that makes me feel a little bit more confident. Let's use our last token so we can spread out our prowess and not blow it on things that don't necessarily need it. Leaving these 2 spots open for a Muerta or a Pumpkin Jack does not matter. I want Pumpkin Jack or Muerta in those 2 positions. If I can have Muerta in the center and Pumpkin Jack to the left, that'd be ideal. Just given where Tech Golem is now landed. I want Tech Golem to fall into the Singularity black holes. I'd much rather do that. I have found out through this time that Landmine against a max armor plating Tech Golem is not great, but Singularity does help out quite a bit. Okay, cool. Muerta going right there. I'll take both of those spots. There we go. All right, now we have our Princess in a good location. We have Pumpkin Jack following suit. Iron Tony still sitting on the second row. Not upset about any of this. Yep. And hit go. We're good. We're just moving a lot faster. We know what placements we want, and that's the cornerstone of Ludus plays. Knowing where your placements need to be, knowing what formations are going to work for you, especially when you have one of your favorite lineups. If you're running your favorite lineup, we're going to go with Pumpkin Jack's attacks have 15% chance to apply fear for 3 seconds because he does have lightning reflexes. But if you play the same lineup a lot, you'll start to see what sort of formations really work well for you, and you really want to stick with that plan. Now, sometimes you do have to change your strategy mid-fight, and that's okay. That's what the whole concept's for. Sometimes you do have to scrap a secondary super because you already have 2 tanks. You don't need a third one. So you scrap one to kind of increase your damage a little bit with others. These are things that everyone should really be applying to their repertoire of Ludus plays and their lineups in general. Let's see if we can get an Iron Tony on the first row. We can't, so let's just super out this Tony, call it good. Spreading out that love. We did not get another Muerta, but we do have Pumpkin Jack lined up with Kitsune and a Tech Golem. We're gonna have our Princess. Let's have our Princess go tap dead center right at that Griffin and call it. Boop, they go bye-bye. They come back, and Kitsune did not come back. Kitsune stayed dead. Go, Tech Golem's getting his butt kicked. Beautiful. This is what happens. This is what happens when you fight full Astral. Remember what happened to you here today. Okay, so we did not get a Muerta out of that entire exchange, so we're just going to drop this Princess. We're going to bump it up and drop that Pumpkin Jack. We're going to hit this Princess over here, drop the Princess, and then drop these. There is our Muerta. We finally got it. We have a 60 prowess Muerta. That is a big old plus. Watch everything die. Everything's dead. You came, you saw, you died. Yay! That is a beautiful fight. So the only real thing that I have ran into an issue with in testing with this before I brought it to recording was Tech Golem was the only real counter to any of this. And the main reason why Tech Golem was the biggest counter to this was it had Shield of Faith, Tech Golem armor plating, and Bulwark. It had all 3 shields on it, and they only won based off of health because Tech Golem just refused to die. So if you have all 3 shields at level 99, I highly recommend throwing them on Tech Golem and just watching people rage at you because you're winning off of health. You're not winning off anything else. But with that said, you need 2 of the Golems supered for it to be an absolute royal nuisance versus anything else. So, yeah, take it as is. Let's see what our damage looks like now. 121.1 million to their 17.5 million. Levels don't matter, perk levels do, apparently, because they have 3 max levels and 2 level 13s. We have a level 10, a level 11, 2 level 13s, and a max level. And we still outdid them in damage. Fantastic. Love every second of it. I hope you guys are enjoying these videos. I'm doing the best I can to get as many out as possible when I have the time. And yeah, thank you all again for your continued support. And I'm going to leave you the same way I always do. Life can be fun if you allow it to be. We'll see you next time.